So as part of the ever-changing marketing landscape, as you probably are aware, more and more companies are moving towards privacy and limiting the amount of cookies that can be tracked at all on a website. And so this year, the big news that a lot of people are panicking over is the fact that Google Chrome, the most widely used browser in the world actually, is slowly but surely going to be phasing out all of its cookies on its browser. So a lot of people are asking, how is this going to affect my Facebook ads? So that's exactly what I'm going to cover today. What's up everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Barrios Digital, and we are here, the Data Apocalypse 2.0. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, just being sarcastic. I was referring back to the iOS 14.5 from, multiple years ago that a lot of people really panicked over. But if we think back to that event and we think to where we are now, no one actually really even thinks about the iOS 14.5 event too much these days. The vast majority of advertisers are doing just fine, maybe even better than they were prior to that update. So it's not to say that that update didn't impact the amount of data that we see inside of Facebook ads or the amount of data that our Pixel receives, but luckily Facebook is able to adapt and still be compliant. It's not like they're breaking the rules, but adapt in different ways so that advertisers can still get good results on the platform. So a perfect example of that is, again, going back to the whole iOS 14.5 thing, is that if you recall, if you were running ads during that time period, there's all these steps that we had to do in order to kind of conserve as much data as possible. We had to go to aggregated event management. We had to pick 8 different conversion events. We had to prioritize where the most important, all that kind of stuff. Luckily, all that stuff is gone. The way we treat the Pixel right now is exactly the way we treated it before the iOS 14.5 update. And your campaigns, while they're still not going to have all the data, they can still optimize to a very good extent. So it's gonna be the same thing here. So the good news is that you really don't have to panic with this Google Chrome update. It's already happened on Safari, and I believe it's happened on some other smaller browsers as well. But Google Chrome is kind of the first major browser that is going to phase out the use of cookies, I think all the way through to the end of 2024. It's a little bit of a slow phase out. And of course, cookies, that means marketing tags are impacted. And that is correct, right? So a marketing tag is a third-party cookie from a third-party website that is tracking the user of this, that, and the other. But the good news is that Facebook has a setting that you can enable that makes it so that your Pixel is part of your first-party cookies. So the whole Google Chrome update, it's eliminating third-party cookies, which again, I already just said that, yes, that includes advertising platforms, but first-party cookies, what they are is it's data sent by your own web server. So they're not getting rid of first-party cookies, Google Chrome that is, they're only getting rid of third-party cookies. And Facebook has the setting that your web server can share data with the Pixel, which essentially makes the Pixel part of your first-party data. I know that's kind of a little bit confusing there. And by the way, I'm not a web developer, so I'm sure someone in the comments might say, well, that's not technically true. It might be this, that, and the other. I'm just explaining this in layman's terms, because in layman's terms, that is how I understand it. So like I said, Facebook, you can actually just have it be part of your first-party cookies, and it's not going to impact your ads in any way, shape, or form. The good news is that you actually don't really need to do anything to get this going, but it also is good to double check, because by default, they enable it so that your Pixel is part of your first-party cookies data, but it's always good to double check. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and walk you through where to find this. All right, so once you are in your ad account, you're gonna hover over to the 3-line menu. You're gonna go over to Events Manager, like so, and then you're going to click on Data Sources right here. Make sure you have the correct data selected if you have multiple pixels, and then you're gonna head on over to the Settings tab, and then you're gonna scroll down right here to where it says Website Settings, and you just want to verify that first-party cookies is on. So like I said, that is the default. So in most cases, you don't have to do anything, but it can be accidentally turned off or whatever it might be. So just make sure that's turned on and you will be good to go. So like I said, the good news is that even though there's a lot of people panicking over this Google Chrome update, honestly, I think things are going to be fine. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be any other updates in the future that are going to drastically impact advertisers. So it's always good to be proactive as opposed to reactive with these kinds of situations. So make sure that you have your Facebook Conversions API enabled. The way you do that is honestly different across every single platform. So it would be difficult for me to show you step by step how to do that. So what I recommend is how to enable Facebook Conversions API on WordPress, how to enable Conversions API on Kajabi, how to enable Conversions API on ClickFunnels, Shopify, whatever it is, right? Just do that Google search and I promise you there's going to be a video covering that. So make sure you do that. And also you may want to consider using a third-party tracking system. So many of these third-party tracking systems, they are not cookie based at all in any way, shape, or form. They actually use digital footprint data is kind of like the term that they use. Again, I'm not a web developer, so I can't go like super deep into the details of what that actually means, but it's just not cookie based data. And so these platforms, Actually, as of right now, they are 100% accurate. So even if you don't get a complete picture inside of your Facebook Ads Manager, you can get a complete picture inside of these third-party tracking systems. The downside is that these are paid tools, and in general, they are extremely expensive. So unless you're spending a lot of money, it's probably not worth it. The one that I have been using and have been very happy with is called Cometly. I don't get paid in any way, shape, or form to promote them. So this isn't me trying to push a product that, I get kickbacks for, but I've been using it, I've been enjoying it. So that may be one that you can look into. But like I said, they're all going to be pretty expensive. So unless you're spending more than $10,000 a month, I would say it's probably not worth it. All right, there you have it. So I wanted to calm the waters here and make sure that no one is panicking. You really don't have too much to worry about when it comes to this Google Chrome update. Just make sure you have first-party cookie tracking enabled and you're going to be good to go. So if you have any questions about this topic, just let me know in the comments below, or if there's any other topics you'd like to see me cover, also let me know. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.